This is the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Monday, the 2nd of December. I'm Michael Groff. More of the same around here. Dry conditions, temperatures remaining above average for the week ahead. Unfortunately, no real chances of rain in our forecast anytime soon. When might the pattern change? That's the question everyone wants to know. Let's see if we can find some answers as we dive on in. First, the almanac from yesterday. 79 degrees, the afternoon high, 51 the morning low, 69 and 48 are the averages for this time of year. And there's a little bit of a whoopsie on this graphic. See if you can spot it. Can you see the mistake on there? Here, let's correct it. That monthly precipitation total, it's not a trace. No, sir, we've started a new month, so let's fix that. There we go. 0. And unfortunately, 0 is where that's going to stay for a while. All right, as we take a look outside right now, here at 11:15 a.m., we've got sunny sky. We're sitting at 68 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew point's 21, humidity 17%. Wind calm, barometer steady. Satellite picture across the region. This is not a whoopsie. This is not a mistake. This is the same graphic. I know the satellite picture looks exactly the same day after day. But I promise you, we are showing you new elements each and every video. We just have high pressure in control, a few high clouds sitting off to the west of us. Those will drift through here from time to time. But overall, no change in the overall weather pattern around here, at least not for a while. We just remain with high pressure sitting just to the west of us and a dry west to northwesterly flow. And that's going to be the story until... well, I don't know, until perpetuity, perhaps. All right. The watch warning map across the country, it's pretty quiet right now. We've got those air stagnation advisories continuing over parts of the Northwest, the valleys of Oregon and Idaho, and some freezing fog in there overnight. And that's a result of what happens when we get these ridges building in here across the west, those valleys. That cool air sinks in the valleys, and then that warm air gets stuck over top of it. You get those inversions. That air just stagnates, and near the surface, whatever moisture is left in those cool overnight hours, you can get some freezing fog right there at the surface. Elsewhere, yeah, it's pretty quiet. Now, we could still see a little lake effect snow up across parts of the Great Lakes today. Boy, did we ever get hammered in some places. Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, Watertown, New York, they got plenty of snow the last couple of days. Some spots probably picking up over 2 feet. And there could be a little bit up there across portions of Michigan today. Again, with that those warm lake water temperatures, the cold air that moves over the top of them, and that's how you get that lake effect snow cranked up. Convective outlook for today. Again, over the eastern Great Lakes, we might, or at least the central and eastern Great Lakes, we might get a little thunder snow today. Other than that, things pretty quiet. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through Monday morning of next week. Speaking of quiet, how about nothing in the valley? How about nothing statewide? How about nothing region-wide? And the reason for that, yes, again, the main storm track staying far away from us. We are in a La Nina pattern. And people ask all the time, well, why is this La Nina pattern? Why is it so conducive for dry weather? And we'll explain that as we show you the models here. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run, and this is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Trough in the east, ridge in the west. A little upper low is kind of stuck underneath that. This has been the same pattern we've been looking at for about 2 or 3 weeks. And it's kind of a Rex block pattern. These patterns are very slow to break down. And so when you see that ridge out here in the west, well, what's that doing? That's keeping the main storm track way up to the north, unusually far so for this time of year. The jet stream is far to the north. It's up there across western Canada. Then those systems dive southeastward over the eastern half of the United States. And so that's why you get all that snow in the northeast. That's why you get those cool temperatures all the way down to the Gulf Coast. They're expecting a freeze down there. But for us, it's a dry northwesterly flow. There's no moisture here. There's that little upper low to the west, but it can't really develop. It can't really pull any moisture northward. And we are just stuck under this ridge that's a lot of sinking air. About the only thing we see is a few high clouds from time to time. And this is kind of a classic La Nina look, isn't it? Sometimes that ridge is a little further to the north and west. It's over the Northeast Pacific, but even that keeps the systems diving through the western states, but just over land, so there's no Pacific moisture involved, and that's why we stay so dry. So, what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, yep, sunny, highs upper 70s and low 80s. The record high in Phoenix for today is 84 degrees. We're expecting highs somewhere between 78 to 82, so I think we're going to be just shy of it, but could a location or two across the region get pretty close or maybe tie or break a record? Yes. So we'll keep an eye on that. For tonight, clear sky. Now, with the dry air in place, we still cool off at night. Lows mid-40s to low 50s, maybe mid-50s, but that's still a little bit above seasonal averages. Now, for tomorrow, guess what? It's more the same. Sunny, highs upper 70s, low 80s. Now, temperatures might back off a couple of degrees as we go further into the week. Highs mid to upper 70s on Wednesday. The sky's sunny, the air dry. The GFS shows a series of little short waves riding down the east side of this ridge. The ridge backs up a little further to the west, and these short waves kind of move down the Intermountain West and clip the Four Corners, including Arizona. If this happens, yes, temperatures would drop a couple of degrees, but there would be no other real event. There's no other sensible weather that would occur as a result of that. Just some breezy conditions at times. That's about it. For Wednesday, Thursday, again, mid to upper 70s. Friday, mid to upper 70s. The sky's sunny. The air continues to be very dry. Saturday, it's more the same. Highs might drop another degree, maybe. But this run of the GFS and the GFS in general is a little bit of a contrast. The European shows an upper low spinning to the south of Arizona for most of this week, and that would keep a bit more of a breezy weather pattern around here and a few more clouds. But realistically speaking, the difference between the two in terms of sensible weather for us is not much. High temperatures would continue to trend above average all the way through the week and into the weekend. And it's really the same thing even as we go out to Sunday. High temperatures remain in the 70s, mid to upper 70s in all probability, and the air continues to be dry. Now, let's go to a week from today. This is Monday, the 9th of December. And the GFS has another one of these systems that drops south out of the Rockies into the plains and forms into an upper low. And so, yes, we could see some precipitation for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and points to the east. But around here, no, we are absolutely dry. Heights are above average. Northerly flow, run the front side of this ridge, the back side of that trough. So, again, just very dry conditions. Surface moisture would be limited. Temperatures would remain above average. Going out 10 days. This is Wednesday the 11th. Ridge is backing off a little bit. A northwesterly flow is in place. Temperatures would still be above average, maybe slightly lower, but I would still suspect highs probably somewhere 71 to 75 and just hardly even a cloud in the sky out there. Now, some of our other guidance shows a bit more of a dampening of this ridge and more shortwave energy passing by, but even at that, this far south, and given that these systems wouldn't really go over the Pacific very much, we would still remain relatively dry, maybe just slightly lower temperatures. And that's kind of the idea that we'll see on modeling on the temperature guidance here in just a moment that we'll show you. Rainfall for Phoenix out through the 16th of December off of the GFS ensemble. Not very promising. Yeah, the control member is up there over a half an inch of rain. And we'd love to see that. But the preponderance of guidance, and you can see the ensemble mean, and that's how you have to approach this when you go out toward 2 weeks. The ensemble mean is well under a tenth of an inch, and that holds true for the European ensemble as well. The mean is under a tenth of an inch. All right, let's look at those temperatures off of the national blend of models. Okay, and again, we're going to remain above average all week this weekend. Now, as we go out into next week sometime, yes, temperatures show a reflection toward trending in the direction of seasonal averages, maybe a degree or two above normal, but that's about as cool as it's going to get. And again, when we look at national blend of models, when we look at kind of the ensemble approach, remember, as you go further out, ensemble guidance generally tries to trend toward climatology. Most of the algorithms, that's how these things go. So Will this be a major cooling trend or even kind of a decent cooling trend as we go out into next week? I don't know. Slightly lower temperatures do look favored, but other than that, we should remain dry. And you should get used to that because we are, after all, in a La Nina pattern. And generally speaking, from a historical standpoint, there's about a 70% probability that La Nina patterns yield dry weather or drier than average weather here in Arizona, and actually for most of the southern tier of the United States. Now, remember, La Nina in the winter of 2022-23 was very wet. The Sierra of California experienced record snow. We had plenty of snow in northern Arizona. We had a decent amount of rain here in the southern part of the state. La Nina isn't always dry. There's no such thing as a universal in weather, really, but you know, this is probability, and the probability is we're going to stay dry. All right, that's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really like what we do here, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube, make those monetary contributions, or you can donate directly via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com. That's that PayPal address. It's GROFFshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Just like Gary Johnson did the other day. Really do appreciate his continued contributions and helping out. And all of you that have donated these many months and years to this video. Really do appreciate all of you guys. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion, speaking of someone to appreciate, is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of, there's that banner, sweetchildaz.com.org, and the Facebook page of the same name. It's called Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out her videos, blogs, everything Michelle-related linked up down in the description. Also, Michelle and Mike related. Our media empire, it is KMGX, our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. Give that a listen. It is, again, linked up in the description, or you can just go to kmgx.com and listen to it directly over there. I would give you an example of what's playing on there right now, but unfortunately, then we'd get demonetized. And believe me when I tell you, especially with the holiday season coming up, we can't afford to be demonetized. The little bit that we make off of these videos, we can't afford to even be dinged a dime because we accidentally played whatever is on the station right now. Because, you know, YouTube, they just don't think that even a few seconds of it, they think a few seconds of a song is going to ruin an artist. An artist that was ripped off by their record label and doesn't get hardly even a cut of anything that people play on YouTube because the record companies are desperate and they need the money. And even though the artist is the one that should be getting the money, they really don't. But that's another rant for another day. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. So greatly appreciated. Please be safe out there. And I'm going to tell you this too. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. We got temperatures up maybe in the low 80s today. So, you know, in December, I realize low 80s, you know, if this were August, we'd be like, man, this is awesome. Low 80s in December can be deceptive. It will feel a lot warmer than you think when you're out there. Look. Michelle and I were putting up Christmas lights last week, and it was about 78 degrees when we were doing that. It felt warm. So when you're in that direct sun. So, you know, keep that in mind. You still want to drink plenty of water, even here in the winter, or what we euphemistically call winter. All right, you guys be safe. Have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Monday.